The first big snowfall of the season is blanketing towns in upstate New York and northwestern Pennsylvania as the hectic holiday travel and shopping weekend winds down. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro signed a disaster emergency proclamation Saturday and said parts of Erie County in the northwest received nearly 2 feet, 61 centimeters, of snow, with more expected through Monday night. Pennsylvania State Police responded to nearly 200 incidents during the 24-hour period from 6 a.m. Friday to 6 a.m. Saturday, officials said. Authorities closed part of I-90 in Pennsylvania and westbound lanes of the New York Thruway heading toward Pennsylvania. Numbing cold and heavy snow could persist into next week and cause hazards in the Great Lakes, Plains, and Midwest regions. Cold air is expected to move over the eastern third of the U.S. by Monday with temperatures about 10 degrees below average.
Yep, we should be back there.
Russia is striking critical substations linked to Ukrainian nuclear power plants in an attempt to shut them down. The strikes threaten disaster, the New York Times reports, citing experts. Russia has been targeting Ukraine's energy sector since the early days of the war, trying to destroy it and make life miserable for Ukrainians. So far, these attacks have focused primarily on thermal and hydroelectric power plants and their transmission facilities. But Ukraine's energy system has not collapsed, mainly because most of its electricity production relies on nuclear power plants, which have so far escaped direct attack. According to the IAEA, since August, Russia has been trying to target power distribution substations associated with nuclear power plants to deprive Ukraine of its last major power generation capacity. According to Sean Burney, a nuclear expert with Greenpeace Ukraine, substations at nuclear power plants not only transmit energy produced by nuclear reactors to the grid, but also feed back electricity to the plants to cool the reactors and spent fuel. A loss of cooling function in one or more reactors would inevitably lead to a nuclear meltdown and a large-scale radiation release. Greenpeace warned in a note sent to the New York Times. United Nations experts issued a similar warning in a statement released Monday. They said that further damage to Ukraine's power grid could lead to power outages, increasing the risk that operating nuclear reactors would lose access to the grid to power their safety systems. Such an event, the statement said, could lead to a serious nuclear disaster. Kiev has tried to persuade the IAEA to send permanent staff to these substations, hoping that their presence will deter Russia from attacking. After all, Russia needs to maintain good relations with the organization to be able to continue exporting its nuclear energy technology. But the IAEA said it could not risk the safety of its staff, so it conducted only one monitoring mission and did not announce any additional visits. Ukrainian government promised that the power would not be cut off to businesses that produce 60% of their consumption volume. According to Prime Minister Shmyhal, Ukraine is currently continuing to export electricity from Europe. We also reported that next week, the situation with power outages in Ukraine will improve and the duration of outages will be reduced to 4 to 8 hours per day.